Hey everyone, it's Michael here from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video without the table because these guns just are a little too long to get on the table. This one's a really long gun. And so this is the S&T KAR98K. It's a bolt action airsoft rifle. Again, this is the tabletop video. Plan to do some shooting with it down the range, on the range. So stay posted for that, but it's going to be a little while because I got a little trip I'm going on in between this tabletop video and the field test shooting video. So what do we have here? Again, it's a bolt action rifle. It's a spring piston. So Springer, there's no CO2, there's no gas, there's none of that. So it's nice. All you need is airsoft BBs to use it. And it's basically styled after the KAR98K, which is I think it's the Carabiner. It's like Carbine. It's a German rifle, and the 98 KAR's German rifle. And I'm going to read a little trivia here. So bear with me. There's some names here I'm probably going to butcher. This is a little kind of the history behind it, so I wanted to cover that real quick because it is a historic World War II gun. So, the Carabiner 98 KAR's, German Carbine 98 for short, often abbreviated to KAR98K, that's where the name kind of comes from, or K98K, and often incorrectly referred to as a K98, which was a Polish carbine. Now this is a bolt-action rifle chambered for the 7.9257 millimeter Mauser cartridge that was adopted on the 21st of June 1935 as the standard service rifle by the German, and it's got a W, so that's a V, Wehrmacht. I'm probably butchering that, but I think it's Wehrmacht. I'm not German. It was one of the final developments in the long line of Mauser military rifles. Although supplemented by semi and full automatic rifles during World War II, it remained the primary German service rifle until the end of the war in 1945. Millions were captured by the Soviets at the conclusion of World War II and were widely distributed as military aid. The Carabiner 98K therefore continues to appear in conflicts across the world as they are taken out of storage during times of strife. Yeah, so it was like kind of like similar to a 303 usage, but and similar power. I think this was a little more oomph, just a little more energy coming out of this guy. So let's get into some of the specifications, and then I will show you around what it looks like and everything. So it is a replica of the KAR98K bolt action rifle. It uses 6mm airsoft BBs. It's a bolt spring operated with a faithful operation, so full pull. Feels actually pretty smooth. It's one of the smoother bolt action springers, I would say, for sure. It also has a CNC aluminum body with real wood stock and dark walnut stain. So we got real wood going on here. I love this metal portion. It's got like a little bit of an aged look, like it's not super refined. And when I show it up closer, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it almost looks like there's a bit of, rust underneath it. I wouldn't say there is, but it just doesn't have that super refined, machine look like it would actually look in real life. Now, the overall length is, it has also reinforced metal barrel with bolt assembly and internals. All metal, CNC stuff, wood. So lots of quality materials going into this. The overall length is 44.1 inches or 1120 millimeters, 19 inches smooth bore barrel, which is 483 millimeters. It does have adjustable hop up. It does have an 11 round magazine that goes internally. You just pop it in there. And it weighs 7.28 pounds or 3,300 grams. The sights are adjustable, but only for elevation. So it has your, on the fly type of sight adjustment like you found in a lot of these older bolt action rifles. Wouldn't call them sniper guns, but they were very accurate out to longer ranges for sure. And this gun should shoot around 300 to 420 FPS with 0.20 gram airsoft BB, so we'll find that out when I do the test. And again, it's distributed by S&T Armament and made in China. So I did want to compare a little bit to, the Gletscher. This is the Mausen. This is the Gletscher Mausen Nogent or something, Nogent. I can't remember what it's called exactly or how to pronounce it. I always butcher that, but this is basically a completely different gun, other than it's similar in the way it looks. But it's a bolt action gun, but you're going to find there's no spring in here, so it's a lot more, it's easier to do because it's like a typical bolt. You're not pulling back a spring. This is CO2 operated, and it does have a CO2 magazine. that holds the BBs and the CO2. So very different in terms of that, but it has the same type of sighting system. Now everything on this gun, it's like new, right? So it doesn't have that aged look, right, like the KAR does. But nice gun. This does have a bayonet, which is pretty cool if you want into that kind of thing. But CO2 4.5 millimeter BB, CO2, not a Springer, so different. But you know, if you look at it in terms of older rifles, they're very similar. So I did want to show you that just as a comparison. We're going to put that away. Hopefully it doesn't fall. There we go. Okay. All right, so at this point, we're going to take a quick look around at this rifle, get up closer for you guys so you can see, right? Nice materials. I don't know if you can see that sort of finish that it has on it, which is, you'll notice the bolt doesn't open up. So that's a little bit off from what you would normally find chambering around. But you can see how the metal has that sort of look to it. You know, it's a little aged looking. The stock is gorgeous, okay? You do have, I'm not really sure what this would be for here, what you would use that for, but it's probably for some sort of piece, but that's what the real steel ones look like. Maybe for adding a sling, there's different sling points. It didn't come with the sling, by the way, but you do have different sling points, right? It does have a red tip, but you know, you can take that off, I'm sure. Let's take a look at the sights here. Okay. Trigger, everything's metal. Trigger guards, all metal. You do have a metal rear butt plate on it. Okay, so this gun is like really got a lot of the same materials as you'd find in the real steel version. Now this is a bit tricky to get out. It doesn't really pop out. You just got to kind of open it. So this comes down, and you'd probably use like a stripper clip, I would imagine. So this is, the magazine is internal, but you use a clip to load it. And in this case, you do have a clip magazine. It is a magazine, okay, so the BBs stay in here, the Airsoft BBs stay in here, but you load the Airsoft BBs into this plastic magazine, right? And then you feed it in there, goes right in there, clicks into place. You can remove it just as easily, okay? So 11 rounds, and then normally the real steel gun would, this is where all the shells would go, the rounds, and then you'd close that up, okay? So it's not like a typical magazine. This would have a clip, I would imagine. So that's the function of the way this gun would work. So pretty cool gun. I mean, I think I kind of showed enough around it, but the stock is gorgeous. The materials, I really think the materials are high quality in this gun. I'm really hoping it'll perform well. The sights look really good. You know, they're non-adjustable as far as I can tell, other than a little bit of elevation. Hop up, not even really sure how you get in there, but it's supposed to have a hop up. Okay. I really don't know how you get into it, to be honest. I have to look at the manual. Maybe I'll just take a quick peek. All right, so the hop up, well hidden, is underneath the sight. So you adjust it, I believe, with this screw right here. So kind of neat idea. You don't have to really take anything apart. You just pop the sight up and you can get into the hop up. So that's pretty cool. I'll show you where that is in the manual here, just so you know. Okay, so there's the hop-up section there. You can see it, okay? So yeah, you just adjust it by popping up the rear sight. Pretty ingenious, actually, I think. All right, let's get into some of the pros and the cons, and then we'll wrap up this video. The pros, I would say, are it's super believable replica of the real steel KAR98K. Really solid gun, weighing just over 7 pounds, so it has, you know, a very solid feel. Probably the real steel gun would be in and around that weight. I'm not sure the exact weight, but maybe up to 8 pounds or so. And the materials, again, are really, really good. All metal where you expect them to be. Wood, real wood sight, real wood stock. I mean, this is a real nice piece. And it's not, you know, it does have a look to it like it was made a while ago, not like yesterday, like some of these guns that do come out of the shop like literally yesterday. So I like that about it. Again, no need for battery. It's not an AEG. You don't need to use any CO2 or gas. Just use the spring. So a little bit harder to pull the bolt back, but other than that, it's going to work really good for you and not require any extra type of way to power it. Again, that adjustable rear sight for on-the-fly elevation and for getting to the hop-up. That's cool. And then you also have the bolt action, which feels really smooth considering you're pulling the spring back. It's pretty good compared to what some of the other bolt action spring piston airsoft rifles feel like. Now, I'm not sure if it breaks down like the real steel version, but I do have a note here that it does, but I have a feeling that it doesn't. All right, so it does come with the red tip. That's a bit of a con. The rear sight isn't adjustable for windage, so hopefully it shoots pretty straight on sight. Otherwise, you're going to have to make some incremental adjustments on the fly or just get kind of used to it. And now there's no sling included, which would have been nice to have a sling. Some of these guns do come with slings, and so that would be nice. All right, I haven't mentioned it, but this gun is available in our Canada Replica Airgun store over at replicairguns.ca. It's not available in the US store at the moment. Sometimes they show up there later on. I will put a link in the description to buy it in Canada. You can always do your own search over on the replicairguns.ca Canada website and replicairguns.us US website for this product, other products, air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.